Hello guys, it's Saturday afternoon. It's the 1st of August 2020, and this is a quick just kind of a tutorial and setup for my friends at Airband. So for Richard and Vince and Zena and Karam, as we think about anomaly detection for some of our network partners, the second is the folks that are in the solar and energy space, so anomaly detection with batteries so that batteries don't ever go all the way dead without lots of warning, so we can change that function. And then the third one is how we think about looking at agricultural data with some of the big partners like Land O'Lakes and others. So I want to show you first, I'm in something called Azure Synapse, and I've actually pre-created a workspace that's called actually delete by August 10th, because there actually is a cost to this workspace, because I've got actually a SQL pool set up, and my SQL pool is actually a really small SQL pool, but it does have a little bit of cost. And I'm also going to set up a Apache Spark pool for the Apache and Databricks and other sort of ingestion. So I'm actually in the workspace. I went back to the overview and I opened something called Synapse Studio. And a quick way to describe this is, imagine if all of the goodness of all of the databases, all of the presentation layer, all of the data ingestion and pipelines, and all of the connections to third parties, if you think about things like Panoply or Algorithmia or all the other folks, imagine if that was in one place for both very technical folks, so developers and data scientists, very non-technical folks, and then intermediate folks. So everyone in the line of business can use this. We've got user-based, role-based security. We've got encryption at rest and all sorts of things. So I'm not going to try to redo an entire tutorial. I would suggest that we probably start thinking about getting our partners up on a data science tutorial and potentially a certification. But I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick tour of the Synapse Studio. So we're going to take a look at kind of what is here. So we're going to browse some content, look at what you can do here. And actually, I'm not sure that window's helping us here. I'm not sure. So I'm going to start, I've got the workspace, and then I start with what is my database. And I can add just about any kind of external data that I want to. So I think about Azure DB, SQL, any kind of data lake, Gen 1, Gen 2. Or if I think about this, I might also have some data sets that are pre-built. And the good news here is there's a ton of very interesting data sets that are here. So if I put in public, I'll just put in all. And I'm going to go down here, and let's say that I've got something on Amazon S3, maybe Amazon Redshift, maybe I've got a Cosmo DB. I've got also potentially Postgres or any kind of SQL, non-SQL text, Cassandra, right? Dynamics, Google AdWords, so I might connect to maybe my Google system, my Google BigQuery, Informix, Apache, Jira. I mean, what's interesting here is the power of Microsoft's partnership really comes to play here, because everybody, so we've got Oracle, we've got SAP, we've got Salesforce, we have all of the biggest enterprises data sources pre-built here. So if I think about the problem that is often the most difficult one to solve, I think about how do I connect my SAP HANA data. That might be the example. Okay, so I'm not going to actually do all of this. This has some real costs that I don't want to do in the demo at the moment. The next thing is I can ingest a SQL script. I can have a Spark job. I could have a data notebook. I could have Python or TensorFlow or any kind of other sort of data project. I could also, when I think about orchestration, we think about a data pipeline. And a data pipeline is nothing more than saying, I'm going to go ahead and move and transform. By the way, sometimes I'm going to copy data. Sometimes I'm going to take data and not copy it. So I'm going to clean it as I go. And if I go to machine learning, which is a great a great place to go. And I look at the ways I can ingest some machine learning data. I have pipelines that I can validate. I've got, of course, my data lakes, and there's a lot of different sources for data lakes here. Batch services, Azure functions. And again, I'm taking these pipelines from not just Azure, but I could be taking them from a Google managed TensorFlow, from SageMaker on AWS. I could be using Alibaba. I could be using IBM's legacy cloud, whatever, right? So I guess the part that's amazing to me here is that in one place, I can manage my entire project. And if I think about things like ingest or explore, by the way, getting data into the system usually isn't the toughest problem. It is then what do we do with it when we get there? So how do we clean it? How do we analyze it? How do we visualize it? And then this all goes directly into the BI, so Power BI stuff. So I'm going to stop there and just say this is definitely going to be a key part of the anomaly detection work we're doing with our network service providers, as well as questions about power and anomaly there. So I'm going to stop the video now, and let's talk more about this next week. Thanks, everybody.